I didn't have to do anything to quiet the crowd. Just put beautiful children in front of you and you get really quiet. Good afternoon and welcome, everyone. My name is Noreen Bush. I'm Deputy Superintendent, and I am so privileged to serve as MC today as we honor you, our retirees. As a proud graduate of Cedar Rapids Community School District, it is certainly an honor to join you today to celebrate the unique and lasting contributions all of you have made to the Cedar Rapids Community School District. We have an hour packed and a delicious lunch ahead of you, an inspiring keynote address by Mr. Terry Strait, longtime educator and retiree from our district, and of course, recognizing you, our retirees. 2019 probably came quickly in your minds, or maybe not, but we are here to honor you today. First, though, we are going to begin with some entertainment from Hiawatha Highlights. This is directed by Carol Borchell, performing on behalf of all of our students in celebration of our retirees. Please join me in welcoming the Hiawatha Highlights.
In order to make a true change in the world, I will pledge to myself
to have acceptance of others,
to be more tolerant.
to be a kind, considerate person. I will look within myself.
And only then can I make a true change in the world.
here in the front, just watching our children beaming with pride of the results of a lot of hard work. But that work was a result of a teacher and parents and a lot of people who came together to make this happen. And so that's why we're here today, is to celebrate you, retirees. I have the honor now of introducing Executive Director of the Cedar Rapids Community Schools Foundation, another organization that makes great things happen for our kids. This is Karen Swanson. Karen is a proud alum of our district as well, having attended her path with Coolidge, Taft, and Jefferson. And she's actively engaged in our community in a number of ways as a parent, but also, of course, through the foundation. She's a volunteer. She's a great rep for our district and a constant advocate. So please welcome Karen.
Don't have to tilt it far. You know, there's that saying, you never follow children or animals. Thanks. So whoever put me first on the program, that's great. As Executive Director of the Cedar Rapids Community Schools Foundation, and on behalf of our 15-member Board of Trustees, congratulations on your retirement. May the years ahead bring you just a little bit of the joy that you have brought to our nearly 17,000 students every year. We could not be more appreciative. For those of you who may not know about the School Foundation, we were founded in 1984. We are a completely separate but parallel and very supportive entity from the district. And I do have an office in the ELSC. Laurel Day had the very funny idea that the extroverted executive director of the foundation in the Office of Accounting. So you can imagine how that goes. They just kind of survive my little bit of crazy. So feel free to come see me sometime if you are at the ELSC. The foundation mission is to provide financial support to and promote excellence in the Cedar Rapids Public Schools. All of our operations and programs are funded by donors, either individuals, businesses, corporate sponsors, or foundations. We do not receive any public sector funding of any kind. The foundation supports many programs, and I know many of you have participated and/or taken advantage of those during your tenure. The annual budget of the School Foundation this year is slightly under $400,000, and of that amount, 80% is invested back into our programs every year. Our annual asset base is now over $1 million, which many of you may have heard about or participated at our $1 million celebration event back in March. Part of this strong financial position is due to your individual generosity through the staff payroll deduction program year after year. I know many of you who are retiring have participated in that program, and I thank you for participating in supporting the work of the foundation with every single paycheck. Whether it's $1 or it was $100, it all added up to thousands and now $1 million a year, making you, our district staff, the third largest donor to the foundation every year. I think that is amazing. In closing, let me thank you again for your service and for your contributions to the lives of our students. There's a small plaque in my office that reminds me to find joy in the journey. It's something that I personally struggle with, but I thank you for the journey that you gave to our students. Our blessings to you as you embark on a new one.
So the mic's playing. How low can you go? So, I think I'm just going to hold it. So thank you, Karen, again, and the work that the foundation does and that retirees continue to contribute to our district. Of course, their heart pulled them to kids, and that doesn't usually change once they leap into that next of life. Next, we're going to hear from CREA President Tanya Johnson. Tanya is also an alum of the district. Her path was Van Buren, Taft, then Jefferson, and taught kindergarten for nearly 20 years, Jackson and Coolidge elementary schools, and of course serves as our CREA President. Please welcome Tanya.
All right, thank you. Mostly I am here because I just want to say thank you to all of our retirees today. Whether you are a bus driver, a secretary, a teacher, a para, an administrator, a custodian, or anything else that I may have forgotten, other duties as assigned, I feel that I can have the voice of the district to tell you thank you. Growing up in the district, attending, like Noreen said, Jackson, Taft, and Jefferson, and being a teacher in the district, working now at the ELSC building as resolution team facilitator, and now being a parent of two high school students at Kennedy, I feel like I have served almost all of the areas where I have been able to feel the love from our staff in Cedar Rapids. So thank you so much for all you do and for all you have done for our students, for your colleagues, and for the families in Cedar Rapids. One thing I just wanted to say is as you move forward into your retirement and that little inkling starts to happen where you start to miss maybe the students or the buildings, please know that we always love to have volunteers. And I personally am always looking for mentor volunteers. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, give me a call. Otherwise, I may be calling you to help down the road as well. Lastly, I just want to say that if you are a CREA member or CROTA member, I have a special certificate for you at the very end. So just see me after everything finishes and I will pass those out. So thanks again and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Tanya. So as we move forward, we have some invitations for our retirees. So today we also have the pleasure of hearing from Joan Minnie. Joan started employment as the first elementary school counselor at Coolidge and also worked at Tyler, Johnson, Polk, and Arthur schools before retiring from her role as CRCSD homeless liaison. Joan is here today to let you know about a social opportunity available to, I know that your social calendars are really wondering what to put on it, but Joan has some opportunities for you as a retired school employee, so please help me in welcoming Joan.
And ironically, I'm also a product of the Cedar Rapids School District. My twin sister and I started at Grant Wood the first year it was opened, and then we graduated from there to McKinley, and then on to Washington High School with a class of 64. I wanted to thank the district for letting us address the distinguished group of district employees we have here. And I want to give you an invitation to consider joining two special groups. The first one is our local group. I have to read all of the names, and it's the Cedar Rapids area chapter of the Iowa Retired School Personnel Association. And that group meets the third Wednesday of the month at the Long Branch, and we have a soup and salad buffet there, and then it's followed by several different programs. This year we had a representative from the History Center, we had the Prairie High School Jazz Band, a representative from the Hoover Presidential Library, one from the Iowa African American Museum, and then a performance by the Kennedy High School Band. We also heard about Bruce Moore and the Billy Clocks in Spillville. And our next and last meeting for this year will be about the Iowa Big and STEAM Academy programs. And so it's a wide variety of entertainment. And the other part is that it is a social event, and you can meet with other retired school personnel. As I look around the room, I realize that I'm old enough that I haven't worked with most of you, a few of you. But I do have the pleasure to say that I was Karen Swanson's counselor at Coolidge when she was there as a student. The second opportunity you have is to join the state group of retired school personnel. And again, both groups are open to any person who's worked in the Cedar Rapids area. So we have school districts from several surrounding areas, and it includes every certified and classified person and support personnel. So all of you here can join. There's a form here that some of you received when you came in, but it will also stay at the name tag desk if you want to pick one up on your way out. The advantage of the state group is they have some informational meetings throughout the area, And they also work to support school legislation activities. And Gary Anholt could tell you more about that. There are also a number of benefits that you can have by joining the state group. The most popular one is that you would be eligible for their Delta Dental plan. And that there's also a vision plan, a cancer plan, long-term care, Medicare supplements, life insurance, medical air services, and discounts at different dining places, and if you're looking at computers, you can get a discount on those. If you look at the form, if you have that with you, or when you pick one up, we have the website listed for the local group on Facebook, and you can go check us out that way. And then IRSPA, the state group, has a website, and that will go and tell you more about the discount programs. And thank you for your attention. You did very well. You used your good listening skills.
Takes a lot of people to get me through a day. This is completely.
How many superintendent licenses does it take?
Yeah. All right, so thank you, Joan, for those comments. And as a person that's had a chance to speak to that group a couple different times, it is a social event and it is lots of fun. So certainly something worth thinking more about as you head into retirement. Thank you also, Noreen, for being our MC today. By way of reminder, I'm Truman, Van Buren, Wilson, Jefferson, for those that are following along their pathways today. As superintendent, I'm honored and proud to recognize the career contributions of you, our retiring employees today. You each chose to dedicate your career to education and in support of students. We honor you today with immense gratitude for all you have done. Retirement is something we all look forward to, I imagine, with varying degrees of excitement and relief. It's a remarkable transition by marking the completion of a career, but it's also a beginning. Our keynote speaker knows this well. A product of the Cedar Rapids School District, Terry Strait attended Harrison Elementary, Roosevelt Junior High School, and Kennedy High Schools. He started his career as a long-term substitute teacher at Harding Junior High before starting a long career at Jefferson High School. While at Jefferson, he taught social studies, coached soccer, football, and swimming. He served many years as student council advisor before being selected to be the first freshman facilitator in the district. His love of his students and their successes has always been his highest priority. A career educator, he's still seen at different buildings, subbing as principal and enjoying his new relationships with students and staff. Currently, he stays busy painting for friends, serving on the board at the Indian Creek Nature Center, volunteering throughout the community, fishing, teaching his grandchildren stupid papa tricks, and traveling with his wife, Marlis. I would also say this. Mr. Strait was my high school soccer coach. Do you remember that? Yeah? So one of my favorite games that we played, so soccer was new back then. There was no like club soccer. There was none of that business, right? That team was probably 2 or 3 years old, maybe when we started doing that. And one of my favorite games that we used to play in soccer practice, because this is sort of Americanized, we played this game called speedball. And the game speedball is you picked up the soccer ball and ran with it. So it was like a fashioned version of American football, rugby, and a little like soccer, but we always kind of laughed at that because they're like, this is how Americans learn a soccer program. Anyway, but we had a lot of fun and really enjoyed you as a coach, Terry, of course. Anyone who knows Terry knows he's become a master at making retirement look good. Please join me in welcoming Terry Strait.
Yeah, I have other Jefferson students in the crowd. You know, you really don't feel old until you see kids, I still call them kids, doing what they do today. You know, it's just really cool. That's the best part of education, especially if you're in Cedar Rapids your whole career. I continue to see kids all the time doing unbelievable things. They're doctors, dentists, lawyers, plumbers, carpenters, you name it, they're it. Super honored to be here today. I had to write notes because my wife was gone for 1 week in California. She taught for 38 years, and she thought if I winged it, I might swear every now and then. So she said, I need to probably do this appropriately because of the audience, but you can fire me now and it doesn't matter. Really, I'm here to send off the retirees, and I am truly honored and privileged. I know so many of you because I've worked with you, and you're the best. I mean, I was only successful because of the people around me, and that was everybody, at least at Jefferson when I worked there long term. It was from the cafeteria ladies to the custodians to the secretaries. We couldn't be as successful without everybody that worked so hard every day. And in my building, when I had a new teacher hired, I told them, you're no more important than anybody else in this building. If you don't have them, you're not going to do very well. Treat a secretary poorly, good luck. So, doing a little math, did Dan Ryan show up? Oh, yeah, no, he didn't show up because I was going to pimp him. Dan Ryan has worked in the district 45 years. 45 years. I think I was 12 when he started teaching. Seriously, I couldn't believe it, 45 years. As a group of the 69 retirees as of Wednesday, they have worked over 1,400 years. That's a long time, and that's a lot of experience. Probably the one thing I always fear as an educator is when we lose these people, will we be able to replace them? Yeah, you're replaceable because your life will change. You'll be good with it, trust me. I look around the room, though, I recognize so many familiar faces, and many of you here today I worked with before my retirement, and I continue to do it. I can't say no. Cindy, is Cindy still here? Or does she have to go back to the building? Cindy called and said, hey, no, we saw each other at Hy-Vee. Can you help me out 3 days? Yes. I just can't say no. But retirement doesn't go without some challenges, and I talked to some of my friends, and you got to be prepared because it is a big change. Most of you, during your career, have been faced with the issue of time. The bells, we have to be there at 8 o'clock. There's just a sequence, the lunch is at this time. It's time, time, time. Everything's based on time. Like most of you, you ate lunch in 25 minutes. Or you didn't have a lunch because the time, the bell's ringing. Bathroom breaks, you remember those? Maybe you have to hold it all day. You don't do that in retirement. All of a sudden, though, after retirement, the only clock you have is the one next to your bed, and you can turn it around. You don't even have to have one if you choose not to. And only if you choose to have it there is it like me. I think I'm like ADHD and never got the medicine when I was young. I still wake up early in the morning. I love the morning. I work all day. I'm doing something every day. But you don't have to. You can be like my wife who stays up. I'm picking on her. This is great. She stays up late, gets up late, and shops all day. That's why I have to take these gigs being principal, pay for But there is some things I don't want to be too funny, but you have to have some purpose and meaning when you retire, because all of a sudden you're going to have this time, and it's so weird that you don't have to be someplace or do something, or you just always dictated by what's going to happen the next day. You're finishing a career that was extremely important to thousands of students and helped build this community. You guys are it. Everybody that did it is it. You are Cedar Rapids. You've made us what we are and continue to be. And that's no small feat, and one everybody should be super proud of. And your purpose in life is changing, and you will have to find new meaning to it. It's finding a new path when you go out there. And it's hard for some people. You don't have to do anything, like my wife shops. I do something every day. Whether it's helping friends, volunteering at the nature center, chasing my grandchildren around, I am busy every day. But that's me, and that's just my makeup. That's how I grew up. There's other things you need to be thinking about as you retire. It's not an aging process. It's sort of a new life. And you got to stay positive. You got to think young. You could get caught. You know, I'm 65, and Ann Holt said I don't look 65. Some mornings I feel 65. But I enjoy having fun and laughing and being around people of all ages. You know, we can get caught in retirement going to that little village someplace in Arizona. And I visited there this winter. And I got out of the area and went to a restaurant. And I said to my wife, young people. I think staying young, thinking and feeling and being with young people will keep you healthy. It'll keep you healthy. It's a lot of fun to be around people of all ages. The grandchildren, oh, you know, that's another story. Adventures. This is the fun part. You'll get to do what you want, when you want to, every day. Yeah. So you think, how am I going to do that? Well, wherever you decide to go, you can choose the off seasons, missing all those families. You can travel with friends. You can pick the best weather, and it's just fantastic. My wife and I travel a lot, and we feel like we're the only people there. And because you have an opportunity now to plan anything you want to do whenever you want to do it. And if you don't want to, you don't have to. I don't like the term bucket list. You know, it reminds me of kicking the bucket. And I'm a fisherman. Life is this long. I'm about down to here. I don't want to kick the bucket. I look at it more like a personal journey. My wife and I seriously sit down together and write down places we'd like to go, things we'd like to do, festivals we'd like to see, people we need to visit, and select the things that we can afford and do and put it on a schedule. Seriously, we take the social calendar, which she accuses me of never checking, that one behind the door. We took it to a restaurant and the people are asking us, what are you doing with that calendar? We're setting the year up. We're figuring out where we're gonna be. Because she takes separate vacations and I do fishing and she doesn't like to fish. She'd rather go shop. And we actually set dates. Portugal in October for 2 weeks. That's our big trip. We love road trips. It's so great to jump in the car and drive places. This fall we did the Civil Rights Tour, so we went down to Atlanta, Martin Luther King, and then came up and we saw 15 sites in 14 days. I have a problem though, being ADHD. You ever see that sign, big ball, largest ball of string? Squirrel! But all the 15 sites we saw were really civil rights things. But this is the other thing, and you don't have to go anyplace. This community is full of fun things to do for retirees. We just had a speaker talk about the different activities and events. But this community offers crazy stuff like cooking classes, okay? Health classes for free. You can go and you either can be lectured or you can do things with groups, that swimming all over. And the nature center's open. You can just walk around the nature center. There's so many, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. And then our trail system. Wow. You don't have to be a bicyclist. You can go, if you can walk that far now, you can walk from Solon to Cedar Falls now, I think, on the trail. I think the Solon patch is open. And of course, there's cheap things. Camping or fishing or seeing old friends at lunch. And there's just so many things you can do, but you have to stay busy. My wife reminded me our first trip together was in New England. So she retired 38 years. It was the fall. We were gone the first day of school, and we make it a point to be gone the first day of school. So it's just gorgeous. Okay, I always take the highway that you're supposed to take. And when we're gone, we always see those yellow buses. Joys. What brings you joy in retirement? So many things. spending more time with your family, especially grandchildren, or your brothers and sisters that live far apart, or your children that live who knows where. I love teaching my grandchildren stupid Terry tricks. That's what I called it in high school. I would do some really terrible things. I don't know why they didn't fire me. One time before a choir trick, I taught these kids how to go before the director got there and put them on a bus to go to Florida. And having grandchildren also, I had, my wife was gone. I took the kids out they love Mandarin Spice to eat with their little chopsticks. They're just tiny little boogers. And Nana wasn't there, so we get dessert so I could send them home all wound up. Don't have to keep them. I love to travel. I think travel keeps us young. I travel with my wife. I travel without my wife. She just got back from California with her friends. I think it's healthy for us to do our own thing. She will look at me sometimes and say, don't you need to go fishing? Like I would say, don't you need to go shopping? Together we like to see, there's so many things to see. National parks, historical sites, other things you can do. You can have a midweek dinner with friends and not worry about a hangover. Not that I drink. Other things that bring me joy, and I think will bring you joy. You'll have time to read, and you can read anything you want. We have a Nook, so I read all my wife's book club books. Yeah. Some of them are good, but then they want me to join the conversation. Why would I want to be with 10 women talking about a book? But I always usually stop by and say, hey, this book was pretty good. I love to barbecue. I love to cook. And most importantly, I love to give back volunteering and helping others, leaving a positive footprint to the community. As retirees, we're aging. Remember, we're down here. We still have an opportunity to give things to kids because you've done it all your life. You've made them very special, and they continue to be special. You can continue to help in so many ways. And the other thing is, they are so grateful. Example, a bunch of retired principals go to the nature center and we cut woods. You know, like woodcutters. Then we split it. And several of them said they got more thank yous in one day volunteering at the nature center than they thought they got in their whole career. Because they need you. Everybody needs you. It's not just money. They need you as a person that can be there to help do what we need to do to leave that footprint. In closing, the wisdom that you've earned and worked hard to gain over the years should not go to waste. It's the wisdom you share with others in your new life that is going to make it very important to you. Be safe, have fun, and don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Indeed, another one of his kids. So thank you very much, Terry Strait, and all the great advice. And just listen to it, retirees. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. But now, it is time to honor you, those who are retiring in 2019. So I'd like to invite our board members and Dr. Buck to come up so that you can be the receiving line for our retirees. I'll wait for you to get settled first. And then retirees, you are going to follow my direction over towards this wall. You can do this. I know you can. You have the skill sets. You're not retired yet. Start to line up in alphabetical order according to last name. Julia Bliss will be at the front of the line, and then they're back. Okay? So come on over, retirees. We're going to start to line up over here. Over here, retirees. Over here. Come on over. Come on over. They can do it. Okay, Val's got it. There you go. See, yeah. Val's generating it. There we go. All right. See, they figured it out already. So we'll adjust along the way if we need to. I think most were able to join us today. So retirees, before we send you across the pseudo stage, do want to make sure that we all understand, even as you capture this moment and the next moments until the end of the school year, and some of you here till June 30th, that the heart of our vision still lives within you. You are all learners, and the vision of the district is every learner. I say every learner, you say future ready, every learner? You too will be ready for your future as long as you follow Mr. Straight's instructions. So, here we go. You may hold your applause until the end. Please welcome, as we cross, Miss Julia Bliss. Pauline Bornstein. Roxanne Dittmer. Val Dozal. Mark Fiala. Rosemary Hayes. Dee Hubler. Chris Jennings. Lynn Johnson. Kathleen Johnston. Karen Kaiser. Patricia Kendall. Martin Kanake. Todd Lewison. Cheryl Lindo. Chuck McDonald. Chuck McDonald! David Meyer. Stephen Nassif. Pamela Northway. Deanna Anji. Lorraine Osborne. Stephen Peterman. Cindy Reese. Jeanette Schneider. Diane Schnobelin Kramer. Schnobelin. I said Schnebelin and everybody corrected me. See, I was right. It is Schnebelin. Thank you. Deborah Snodgrass. Lisa Stolba. Mary Swanson. Rita Thorson. Patricia Truesdell. Susan Van Wart. Karen Wasta. Who actually has jazz moves that she's going? And Lori Weary. Help me congratulate our retirees. well over 1,000 years of commitment to Cedar Rapids Community School District. I have had the pleasure of working with many of you in many regards. Many of you have mentored me. Some of you were my own teachers. My path was Fillmore, bounced back to Wilson and to Jefferson, and can't thank you enough for your commitment to kids and for serving our district. And thank you, board members, for your commitment to our kids and to these retirees. Let's please give them another round of applause for everything that they've done for children. So you have bettered our community by teaching, leading, and serving our students and their families. You have each made a difference. For all you have done for students, families, and your peers in the Cedar Rapids Community School District, and on behalf of the Board of Directors, Dr. Buck, and our district, I offer you our deepest gratitude. May your future be emblazoned, and on fire with your new opportunity, new fulfillment, and new adventures. Every learner, congratulations 2019.